Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Frontline in the Trenches. FPL in the Trenches, if you were. Frontline, Trenches, all that fun stuff. It is one of your co-hosts, Scott, along with BeerMeJesus, and we are going to recover... No, I said it. We're going to recover from a double weekend. BeerMe, how are you doing before we really dive in here? How are you doing today? Do you need to recover?
No recovering here. I'm doing pretty good, other than the fact that it's hot as hell out.
Yeah.
And then I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Yeah, same. I'm debating. I have a little fan right here off camera that I'm debating turning on, but I don't want to have the fan go brrr the whole time into the microphone. So it's hot. Even for Canadian, it's hot. I find it hot right now. So, we've been busy. We need to recover. We had a double weekend. I didn't even say what this is. This is the FPL. This is Frontline League on Twitter. You can go through that or follow everything down below, like, favorite, subscribe, all that fun stuff. To get into our Discord, to join and sign up for the FPL, you can come in and have matches and do storylines like the two events we're about to recap. Full disclosure, we're not even going to really go into SummerSlam because we've got a month from today when we're recording it, the 21st, and that's our next show. So you guys know it's pretty much all sorted out. We know where we're going. But there's still some stuff to announce and fall into place and whatnot. And we'll get there over the coming weeks. So bear me. I think our upcoming plan, just to talk about that, will be maybe not announcing everything all at once. I mean, where's the fun in that? But really dedicate some time towards the stuff. So next week we might talk about a couple big matches and a couple more and a couple more. We'll see. But right now we have Slammiversary and Money in the Bank. And for those who are unaware, Slammiversary is an Impact show, same as AEW, same as ROH. Those are house shows as far as we're concerned. So your place in the standings doesn't really get affected. I say that, it does a little bit. But it's not like, if you skip them, we're really not going to penalize you because some people just don't watch Impact. They don't watch Ring of Honor. They don't watch AEW. Our history, though, is people really turn out for everything, which is pretty great. We really appreciate that. But we're not going to change it so everything absolutely matters because we want to keep that thing. If you just like, I hate ROH, fine. Or the others as well. WWE and NXT are the main shows because everybody watches those. That's what we have here. We got one of each on this weekend, and how that worked really is a lot of the standings and big matches of importance going towards SummerSlam. That was Money in the Bank. But Slammiversary was kind of a lot of story beats, a lot of personal animosity, a lot of stuff that really came to head. And I think both turned out really, really good. Tooting our horn, the write-ups were great, the turnout was great, the promos were great. Bear me, my favorite thing about this, I forget if you were actually there for it, because I know I was back and forth, and I was actually out and missed Slammiversary, sadly. But around 2 in the morning, after our results were out, people were doing promos in character chat, like, steadily. Typing up character chat promos. At 2 in the morning between shows. Like, it's so great. I love it. I love everything about that. Like, what was your thoughts on this double weekend, before we really dive in?
It was a lot of fun. It was a really good weekend of wrestling. I enjoyed both shows a whole lot, even though you weren't there Saturday. Impact was still fun. It had its ups and downs, but it was still an overall good show. I mean, I really liked it. So it was a good weekend. It was a good weekend of wrestling, and it was a good week for the FPL.
It looked like it was a fun one. Impact did Impact things, as always. ROH does ROH things, and WWE does WWE things. And yeah, AEW does AEW things, and yes, top of the card, we'll mention it right now, that is our other wrestling podcast where we talk about actual wrestling and actual stuff. And I'm kind of glad that we're not recording that until tomorrow night, because normally we record it earlier in the week. But the simple fact that there's rumors about Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Nick Gage just showed up on Dynamite in the past half hour. Like, we're talking about it tomorrow. So we actually will be a little more up to date, because last time it was kind of funny. We talked about Aleister Black and our favorite Dream SummerSlam stuff, and he was on Dynamite like the next day. It happens. But tune in for that tomorrow, the weekend-ish, for Top of the Card. Top of the Card pod, by the way. And yeah, let's dive into our Slammiversary, the FPL Slammiversary. So right off the bat, the main event, it was us, and I lost. BeerMeJesus beat me, Scott, in a submission match, 21-16. And Impact does Impact things. We talked about this at length on the podcast, on this show, and the podcast and after and in general. And goddamn, Eddie Edwards versus W. Morrissey really cost me because I figured they were building Eddie towards Omega after Callahan loses, which he did. But Morrissey won, which I figured, Morrissey's got to win. He's like building his way up. But yeah, that one cost me. And the tag titles. I didn't think the women's tag titles would change hands again so quick, and yet they did. And that cost me.
I didn't think they would either.
And just a couple big ones like that cost me. And yeah, I regret it. I didn't think Alexander would retain, but it was only 1 point. Or 2 rather, because Omega was my 1, because there was no way Callahan was winning, etc., etc., etc.
Right.
So bear me, you beat me 21-60.
Yeah, I was worried though because leading up to that match, I was sweating bullets because they kept saying, "Oh, the unstoppable Morrissey versus the heart and soul of Impact, Eddie Edwards." And I was like, "Oh no, I chose wrong."
Yep.
And then the match happened, and I was kind of a little bit in disbelief. I really thought Eddie might pull it out, but
yeah.
Thankfully, I picked Morrissey.
And, I mean, they did Moose Raw. He lost to Chris Sabin, which makes no sense in the world. I think he was my second from top. I don't know.
Yeah, mine too. I think they're going to build him back. Well, eventually they'll build him back up for the title. But
yeah, but it's still weird.
Yeah, it is.
Beyond that, though, the fun... I mean, the bonuses kind of were good. Like, I did pretty good overall, considering I just had a couple really big misses, but I will take pride in being the only person to pick Thunder Rosa, as the surprise for Deanna. So very happy with that. But I still lost, and I've yet to beat you in a submission match. But I do have that win over you at what was it? December, it was like TLC 2017, 3.5 years ago for the tag titles. Yeah, that I got that win. Yep.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. You always have that.
I've done it once. That's what matters. So, yep. But let's move on. That's enough about us. Let's put the shine on the others. I don't even know why we're the main event. I truly that's okay. Sure, I won't turn it down. But yeah, it was. But that actually, we'll talk about in the write up what happened after that to close out Slammiversary because that's spilled over into Money in the Bank. We're working our way down, then we'll work our way back up. So there was more that happened after that regarding that match. But here, Chappers beat Jason Blades. The winner picks stipulation for JJ versus Jace at SummerSlam. 16-11. Again, not great scores. My 16, I lost with that. 16, is not good. You can see right there, Ralantendo and JD, 24-22. Non-title, so Ralantendo, he snuck it out. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to say on both of these, I figured Jace because of what was going on, but Chappers, they're some of the best, and he's getting singles wins now, which is scary. Well, Ralantendo, I know he's commented in in character and not character, and he kind of looks at it like this is character. It really isn't. If it was character, I'd be bashing everybody and hating you for beating me. But
right.
But like I picked Ralantendo last time to win to beat JD, and I gave credit to JD because he's a veteran and he earned it. And he's there, and he beat him. Ralantendo got him. It was close, but he got him. That's what I'm talking about. Ralantendo, he's winning, and I don't know what else to say to that. Like if it's coming off like I don't want that or I'm against him. No, JD is the tougher opponent, and I kind of beat him. But he's maybe that's it. 'Cause that's it. He's the tougher opponent, but he's the champion. Ralantendo is building up. Ralantendo is where PAYNE was last spring. Last spring, we're dealing with the JRPL, and PAYNE was on the way up. It's like, man, if this guy just keeps hitting the right spots, he'll be unstoppable. And by September, when everything was kind of like getting to a peak, he was on his way. He was unstoppable along with JJ Rocky, our obvious favorites here. But those guys were just obliterating everything. And Ralantendo is literally doing that now. He's getting to that point where he can't be denied. Always bet on creatures, always bet on Ralantendo. Like that's what that's becoming. Right. He's beating everybody put in front of him. So I don't know how else to sing your praises, Ralantendo. You're doing a kick-ass job. And you've earned it. Like there you go. I don't know what else to say. I mean JD, American contender, Ralantendo stuffed it. I mean he didn't stuff it. It was 24-22. But those both would have beaten Chappers, for example. A tag champion, no less. Bastion got 21. They would have beaten your boy Bastion, who beat James Costner, and that was violent. 21-16. Yeah. Bastion's been on a run. He's been on a tear right now. Actually, so have you. You've turned it around since the stuff with CT, the kind of the draw there. In the
I'm
loss.
finding my footing.
Sorry. But sometimes that's what it takes. Like my time of success is historically this time of year. The not late summer, midsummer, July. I don't know. I guess it is midsummer. That's quite literally why they call it that. But that's kind of where I start to really succeed and get some wins. And cool. We'll see what happens with others. By October, I'll falter probably and lose. So this is a historically how it goes. But Bastion got the win over Costner. Not for nothing, Costner is in Money in the Bank. Bastion is going towards a contendership match. So it's a big placement match with these guys on a house show. Doesn't really count, but again. But then we have the First Blood Hardcore match. Lucian Hollis defeated RGX 20-12. Now, Hardcore...
I really like this.
You've got your points kind of varied in how it goes. This match was hella fun to watch. It was. I wrote it.
Well, yeah. Right? It was really good.
No,
I really liked it.
A little bit of behind the scenes. RGX wasn't sure. He was waffling for, I think, weeks on whether or not to do First Blood or Dog Collar. So I was like, which one do you want to do? First Blood. Cool. And I had him use the Dog Collar anyway in it because he could try to bloody him. I had written... my match with you and my match with CT and all that kind of stuff in the same kind of like placement in my head. And then I still managed to have these guys basically have a cinematic fight on the ramp. Like, it wasn't really in the ring. It was all on the ramp at the entryway by the wall and then ringside. It was a cinematic match, but yeah. It was fun. I like making Hollis a monster, and RGX can take anybody. Sometimes he takes too much of a beating, though. So that's how that is. So, but you like that one? You said you like that match?
Yeah, I really liked that that match. That was really good.
Thank you. Next up, Detrick Cyrus beat Luke Gray. Big win, 26-15, 11 points on a show where some people got 16. Holy crap! Actually, let's look at the next three while we're at it. 22-15 for Modstep beating Lexi Briggs. And 22-16 for Red defeating PAYNE. Now, Luke and Lexi are in the world title contendership matches with Bastion the next night. PAYNE is going to SummerSlam and faces the winner of that contendership match at SummerSlam. Those guys all lost to Detrick, Tag Champ Modstep, and my girl, the GM, Red. That's not good for any of them, but again, its impact doesn't really matter as much. But momentum-wise and storyline-wise, oh no.
By the way, since Detrick Cyrus joined La Familia, they've been taking off, and he's been killing it.
Yep.
So
shout
out to him too.
It's kind of funny, but it wasn't just the missing piece for him; it was the spearhead for them. He's really taken the reins on that. He's not the leader, right? That's Escobar. Right?
No, it's Escobar,
yeah. But
he's not. Escobar isn't number 2 in his own faction.
That's true. Yeah. I should have known better. But yeah, no, Detrick, my God, you just beat a guy who might be going for the world title the next night. You did better than Modstep, who beat the other girl who's going for the world title the next night, like the contendership. And you also beat the girl who beat the guy who's going for the world title guaranteed. Like you beat all of them. So that kind of stuff stands out to me. That I look and go, yep, that's good. Not for nothing for the others, but all that was really, really good, I thought. I'm very intrigued to see where he can go from there. Strap a rocket. Let's see what we got. Absolutely. That's the stuff I love to see. So very, very happy about that. Now, I know someone not happy. Jonathan C.T. Martin and J.J. Rocky went to a no contest. 24-24. Good, great scores, too. Like I just said, that would have beaten all these guys. But, or like half of the... But it was a no contest.
It was funny because like in live event, the only thing that could save JJ from losing was Don Callis not interfering, and he got up on the apron but didn't touch anybody. It was more like a distraction.
Yeah.
So then,
like
like,
MVP.
oh, Callis showed up. We're like, yeah. I was like, yeah, but he didn't touch him, and he's like, God damn it.
The one time he doesn't, because he always does. He always does. And it's a no DQ match. So he could anyway, right? Like, it's not even interference. He's just touching. He could do it without penalty. And he didn't? Come on. That's, yeah. But yeah, a draw. So that's got to run that one back. And I love seeing those where you do it again. Like, Let's go. Meanwhile, Sheriff Dog defeated the Alpha Dog 29. Great, insane score from one half of the Strays, defeating 17-point Alpha Dog. I said 16s are not great. They are on the low end. They're not bad, but they are on the low end of what we have here. So,
Moose killed a lot of people.
It did, because it seemed like a bankable thing, right? So that's the problem with Impact. They have a lot more matches, but the big pointers still just decimate your score sometimes. So, non-title match. This was the shocker. This was crazy. Alexander McKennedy lost to the Gaffer, and it was 27-20.
Hey, not for nothing. The Gaffer had foreshadowed a little bit. He had a pretty good weekend. Got to give it to him.
That 27 is, again, a very high score. He would have beaten everybody else on this screen. He almost had the same score as Death Money Inc.'s 32.
Yeah.
What? It's pretty insane. He would have beaten... he wouldn't have beaten Sheriff Dog, but he would have beaten every single other person in the title matches. Where's Bastion? Yep, 21.
Yeah.
He would have beaten everybody. The Gaffer, we said, let's put him up on a mat. Let's see what McKennedy can do. Let's see what Gaffer can do. Let's see what happens. And he won. He shocked the world. So that's what we want. We want to see stuff like that. I don't want to see McKennedy lose, but it's not going to kill him. Not like one loss and he's buried, right? Like that's the top of the card joke for there. But now it's like, oh no, what happens now? And yeah, McKenny's going to want to get revenge on that someday. He's going to want to get that one back, and the Gaffer is going to ride that rocket. So, and if it fizzles out, you know where the top is, you know where that ceiling is. So, but we're never going to get there unless we try. Let's see what happens. He's undefeated at this point. I think that's 4-0 overall. So
his pick base is Vince McMahon too.
Yes.
So that's kind of hilarious.
It's pretty funny. Next up, we have the GMSG beating LJ 22-21.
Squeaked it out.
Your FBU member got the win. Again, the win's all that matters, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So close. A little different of a win here was Ash beating Broken Nerd 25-16.
Yeah.
Big stretch on that. These two I have kind of been circling each other for a little while now and intersected here and there, so that's not the last time we'll see that one, obviously. The Strays. This is interesting. It's Michael Marsh and Supreme Rock. So that's another Stray. There's 3 Strays. They took on Death Money Inc., the Arbiter, and Tino, so a different set of these teams. And they almost doubled them, 60-32.
Ooh.
BeerMe, what's going on with Death Money Inc.? DMI kind of faltered there a little bit. Again, doesn't matter as much because people just don't watch Impact, so they might not know. But holy crap, what happened?
I don't know. Like I said, I'm guessing a lot of people put a lot on Moose, and maybe the Strays didn't.
Could be that, yeah. The Midnight Rider beat Cam, a mask versus mask battle, 26-15. Smooth Rock beat CJ Hawk, 21-18.
Oh, I totally forgot that.
Yep. Junction and Rate Wrestle, another no contest. 22-22. But Wookie beat Macho Mendoza 20-19. Papa Snooch beat Lynn 16-13. Low scores. Got a couple more here. Mystery Mask beat Buckend 5 16-15. So a bonus is all it takes. Monkey Bong destroyed Matt Zion 25-6.
Monkey Bog.
Yeah.
But it worked.
Bane the Bissa beat Wesley Shadow 20-15. Danny the Light Jordan, your favorite name of people who have joined up recently, beat Mark Harper 24-17. And Ace High beat 3J Platinum and Kurt Cult 24-23-19. So that is the full results for Slammiversary. We've got Mark Harper making his debut, Supreme Rock up to 5, Wesley Shadow up to 10, Monkey Bong won his 5th. And some of these guys down below, to put the shine on here, it might not be the greatest shine, forgive me, but seeing Monkey Bong get the win and seeing Bane the Biscuit get the win, they're here damn near every time, and it's a matter of time. Like, is it a bit of luck or just odds? Yeah, a little bit, because if you did better than 16, you would have won, and most people did. But you get someone who's 15, and we try to book accordingly. We try to look and see, like, think like MMA, where it's caliber opponent, like of the same level, because we don't want to book someone where we figure he's probably going to squash him. He kills at every Impact show, and this guy sucks. Let's put them together. No, we don't want to do that. Where's the fun in that? Nobody gets anything out of that. But when we don't know, we're looking at the gaffer going, I don't know. McKenna doesn't have a match. Why not? And he wins? Yeah. Yeah, let's see what happens. So these guys can turn it around. Monkey Bong 25-6. That's really good. Is it luck? Yeah. Was Matt? Yeah. So we see what happens from there. So, but it was a lot of fun. The kickoff, like I said, had Harper coming in. Danny the Light Jordison, again, your favorite. I think I said his name wrong. Jordison. 2-0, so he's undefeated, BeerMe. We have a streak on the start here with Danny the Light Jordison. We've got the other stuff here with Broken Nerd and Cam and everything going on at the start, and Gaffer getting that win. It was insane. He beat him with the Gaffer tape, excuse me. And then Sheriff Dog and Alpha Dog just going to town. JJ and CT was ridiculously crazy and violent. Redhead and PAYNE, I mean, that was long overdue. The storyline there was PAYNE actually cut Red's leg and took the skin and kept it. Finally gets to get revenge and got it too successfully. So that's very good to see. Modstep and Lexi, RGX and Hollis, like I said, that one was a cinematic match on the ramp, which if you want to read that, check it out. It was a lot of fun. Bastion and Costner, again, very violent. They don't like each other. Costner is the FBU hunter right now, which...
Yeah,
I really like that. I'm not gonna lie, that's good. I love when people are doing gimmicks and I'm like, oh, I wish I did that. Yeah, do it. And to see these guys do it, like it's like CT's the heel that I should be, is what I feel like. That's where my character should be right now. But I'm not getting the wins. It's not where I should be right that. So Chappers and Jace, again, Chappers getting the solid win there, and me and you, me and you, and it. Yeah. It was crazy because I wrote it where my throat still hurt because CT, tried to crush my neck, as he did.
Yeah, you were banged up.
Yeah, and you didn't want to fight because you're like, no, come on.
Right.
Because like we talked after the tag match and stuff, and it's like, no, this isn't right. What's up? Of course, CT gets involved because I didn't tap. You choked me out easy because throat, not the neck, the throat. That was the thing there. CT basically shut me up for a promo. It was a minute long. But then, CT comes out. So Red shows up because they have issues. But then LJ comes up because GMSG's there too, and I have eternal issues with the GMSG. He pisses me off. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Every time we get near each other, it's violent. So that's a matter of time. I can only believe at this point. But... LJ attacked him, and they're both in Money in the Bank, and that's where things got nuts, because Angela Grace came out, did her fall from grace. Cam hit a CK out of nowhere, because that's a cool move, and it's a fun one to do. Hawk comes in, gets a skull-crushing finale. Costner comes back, and then Hollis decides to destroy everybody. But, yeah, ladders are involved, and it's very violent and very insane. And a lot of fun. And that was just a teaser for Money in the Bank the next night. So bear me. I'm going to click over this, and here's Money in the Bank. Are you ready to just dive into this and keep on going with some results?
Ready to roll.
Okay. Not even going to pause briefly. Here we go. Mr. Money in the Bank is the second match. I'm not going to say it first. I thought it was the main event for the longest time. I don't know why. But Bastion won the main event. Basha won our qualifier match where he defeated Luke Gray and Lexi Briggs. It was 34-25-24. Again, Luke and Lexi both co-won a Battle Royal. I believe it was the Casino Battle Royal or the WrestleMania Battle Royal. Forgive me, actually, that one. The Bastion was the Joker, but they co-won that and advanced. Bastion then was again the Joker in the Casino Battle Royal and won it. Then he won Hell in a Cell and got here. So these three went one-on-one, and Bastion won. So now it will be Bastion versus PAYNE for the FPL World Championship, finally being declared August 21st at SummerSlam. No stipulations, no fanciness, no nothing. Just one-on-one with the two of them. And we're pretty confident there won't be a tie because there's going to be a fair number of bonuses because it's a big show, more than likely, so probably 5 or 6. Mm-hmm. Don't hold me to that because it's 4 weeks out. But we don't want a tie. We really don't. What were you saying there, BeerMe? Sorry, you saying you like to see it? I think that's what it was for your FPU compatriot. Yep.
Stuff you love to see.
Now, do you see him going all the way?
Yes.
Do you legitimately see that, or are you just picking him because he's your guy?
No, he's on a roll. He's on a roll.
It's PAYNE, though. It's PAYNE.
It is, and I do like PAYNE a lot, but I think it's Bastion's time.
I think PAYNE peaked early, and I think he's had some issues here and there, like he lost already, lost to me. I'm going to say. But I think Bastion's got the recent momentum, and that's going to carry him through. I think you might be right. We'll dive more into that match, because it's the main event of SummerSlam, in the coming weeks. We'll get there. We're going to cover these first. Because what those guys have to worry about, when one of them wins at SummerSlam, is there is Mr. or Ms. Money in the Bank. And that will not be cashed in at SummerSlam. God damn it. No, it doesn't go live. The championship match will happen because these guys earned it. And then, at the next show, which we now know is a takeover the day after, on August 22nd on Sunday, the cash-in can happen. The case is live, provided we do have a winner as champion. I'll say it right now. Right. If we do have a draw, we will go until we get a champion, and then the case becomes live the next show. So say we go to TakeOver, we rematch it, and they draw again, we're going to the next one, Clash Champions, whatever it is. And then after that, case is live. For a year. We're not going to tie it to this past weekend. So if our champion isn't declared till September, they have till September 2022 to cash in. Right? That's how. So there could be 2 cases at once. Could be. Which would be wild. But who was in it? LJ, the GMSG, James Costner, Cam, Angela Grace, Lucian Hollis, Jonathan C.T. Martin, and CJ Hawk. CJ Hawk was the first name we announced as being part of this match, I do believe, and he won it. As many have said, he flew from the pre-show. I think you called him the king of the pre-show.
Yep. MVP.
He's MVP of the... That's it. He just earned the Money in the Bank contract and can cash in on PAYNE or Bastion or whomever the champion may be once we have a champion. And we can go from there. So, I know we talked about the feel-good stories and the maybes and the factions, and that write-up was super fun to do because I've never actually written a ladder match. And it's Money in the Bank. And I just saw the 2 Money in the Bank matches on the weekend, and I went nuts with it, and I was inspired. And I like the idea of Hollis destroying ladders and ending up with no way to climb. That was a fun thing I did. Yeah, that... Hawk, I'm thrilled for Hawk. I would have been thrilled for any of these guys, legitimately. I like the idea behind all of it, which just... I mean, yeah, we booked it, but I'm really happy with Hawk on that one because that idea is just a cool idea that he is quite literally circling above like a bird of prey, ready to pounce.
Yeah.
Not a vulture to pick the carcass. I mean, you never know. But he's going to strike when you least expect it, and that's what he can do as the Money in the Bank briefcase holder. So, what do you feel about Hawk, CJ Hawk, winning Money in the Bank?
I really like it. I like it a lot. I think it's pretty good. He's been killing it, and he even killed it on that card. I think he picked every match right. Like, not many people did that. So, my hat's off to him. Congrats.
If you're looking at the scores, you're going to notice it says 21, 21, 20, 18, 18, 15, 12, 11. How can 2 people get 21 and it's not a no contest? Well, ladder match, Money in the Bank, 5 in a row gets you the win. He picked the first match correct, as well as the second one, and the third one, and the fourth one, and the fifth one. And he won. And if I'm correct, he's the only one of the entire group that picked the Usos to win. So everybody else was starting behind him. It was either that or they were.
It was
the second match. I
It
forget.
was the women's. Yeah, it was the women's Money in the Bank. He picked Nikki Ash to win it.
Forgive me. Yes.
Yep.
So some people had one, but when you get to the Money in the Bank match, he was the only one to pick Nikki. I almost did as well, just for the record. I picked Alexa, but he picked Nikki, so he got 2 in a row. Everybody else went back to 0, and there was only, I think, 7 matches. So to capture, everyone else would have had it perfect, and then we would have gone to a tie for that. But he was already at 2, and then he went to 3 and 4, and people were freaking out and panicking, and 5, and he won. And for the record, the points stop as of that happening. So I might be mistaken on this because I always get a little bit mixed up. But the bonuses generally officially count when the show's over, but we've been counting them as they happen. So there might be something there about how it officially goes. It's in our write-ups and in our stuff. But I know at least how FPL, JRPL used to do it, was the bonuses officially kick in at the end. Well, this happened here, so there's no bonuses because it's not the end, but it's the end of the match. So these scores are lower than they could have been otherwise. But he got 5 in a row. That's all he needed. He is Mr. Money in the Bank. So congratulations, Hawk. I look forward to seeing what he does with that. Maybe he cashes in the next night like Nikki did, the person he picked, or he keeps it for a while. Not going to lie, a takeover is a pretty damn good spot to get a 10-point bonus. Like, right? So that's what you get a 10-point bonus. It might be 5, actually. I think it's 10, though. I think we've agreed on 10 because that's the whole point of Money in the Bank. The officialness is in there. I can say for certain, I know CT has reached out to Hawk to tell him how it works. So the person that needs to know knows and will reach out to us for any information. So he's got that info. But just so everybody knows, he does have to declare before the deadline. So if he puts his picks in, say for SummerSlam on the 19th, the Thursday, and then on Friday he's like, you know what? I want to cash in. Cool. Not deadline yet. That's Saturday afternoon. Good to go. If the deadline hits on Saturday, which I believe is going to be 5 or 6 p.m., he can't change his mind because we'll reveal the picks of everyone has. And he goes, oh, yeah, bump it up. Can't do that. You got to do it before the deadline. That's the one thing. So I don't know if there's a way where he can be like, nah, you know what? I changed my mind. I guess that's still before the deadline. As long as it's before the deadline, good. But don't worry. We won't reveal it till the write-up. It'll be fun that way. I think CT was the only one who even knew when Orstella had Money in the Bank back in the JRPL the last time. We always were wondering, did he cash in? Because you were champing, panicking every damn time, weren't you? So,
True.
Yeah, it was a
scary
heart attack every show. So, sorry, Hawk. That's enough about you. We got to look at the rest of the stuff here. You've got a year with that case. We'll see what happens with that. We have another contendership and more stuff happening. We have the FPL Continental Tag Team Championship #1 contenders match. The Strays, Shriftdog and Michael Marsh, defeated Matt Zion and Rab, and it was 60-57. What happened? Like, how is that so close? 3 points. Right. 1 bonus question. Like, that's all it took. I think the Strays, I know Shriftdog told me he was kind of freaking out and panicking during that. He's like, oh God. But he was confident. But that's a nail-biter if there ever was one. But yeah, they will go on to face the Simple Creatures, the best tag team there is, at SummerSlam. And what did I say at BeerMe a couple weeks ago, even a month or 2 ago? A team that nobody knows will be the ones to give the Creatures the most trouble. Look what these guys are doing. Here they come.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Or
it's good stuff.
The Creatures do what the Creatures do and stuff it. And I love that. That is my favorite kind of thing. What happens when this unknown gets involved and what do we see? So I'm thrilled for that match. I'm looking forward to that big time. That's awesome. How do you feel about the Strays coming up? I know you've been fans of them. Matt and Rab are awesome to see here, and they almost got it. It's so close. But how about these guys? How do you feel about that?
They're really good. They're really good. They, I think they can give the Creatures a run for their money and possibly even beat them. So I bet you that match could possibly be match of the night once we get there.
Yeah, those scores.
That's how confident I am that they'll score really well.
Yeah, the scores are what'll do it for them for sure. Well, again, we'll talk more into detail when we get into those matches. We've got some graphics and stuff. We'll get there. But we've got another contendership. We've got the FPL Canadian Championship #1 contenders match. Broken Nerd defeating Smooth Rock 37-27. Now, we did have Broken Nerd kind of like, okay, he's been doing good. We'll see what we can do. BeerMe, it's summer of 2020. A fly's flying around. He's bugging me. It happened again. You want to talk about history? That just happened. People think I'm crazy swatting at nothing.
Right.
Oh, there's a fly buzzing around. It's over there. Broken Nerd, though. He was probably like, he was on the up and up. He was on the echelon. He was kind of going towards a bit of everything because Broken Nerd's really good. But Smooth Rock is like, so am I. And yeah, this had to happen. Smooth Rock comes in. He loses by 10 points, but on a show, a bigger show like that, it can happen. But Broken Nerd has earned the shot at Relintendo for SummerSlam for the Canadian Championship. So I've said it before. I'll say it again. That's a big contender, and it's another older one coming in, but he earned it. He won the match here to go after the champ. As someone who's faced Relintendo in a championship situation and did not win, BeerMe, what do you think Broken Nerd's chances are on this? Because you faced him as well back when you were world champion. You faced both these guys in high stakes situations. What's your opinion on this one?
I think Nerd can do it, but Relintendo's just on a big roll, so we'll have to see. I mean, Nerd's on a roll too. I can't say that he's not. I mean, he put up a hell of a score here, and he's one of the best in the league. So that match could also get match of the night, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, no, because it'll be under Watson rules, so probably not.
That's true.
But
that's true.
It'll still be a great match. I like the Watson rules, so I'll be watching that.
It should be a good one. Again, we'll dive into more detail on those coming up. I know we kind of gave a big breakdown there because BeerMe had that history, but let's just get BeerMe talking about his own match. BeerMe, you beat the American champion Alexander McKennedy, non-title, 34-26. Pretty sound win. You would have lost the Nerd, by the way, but you beat McKennedy. You and I teamed against McKennedy and JD, and that's I'm not gonna say, but that's 2 wins over McKennedy. That's not bad, right?
Yeah, I got it in my back pocket, just in case I need it.
Yep. But I've said this many, many times. If it was a title match, it'd be very different. And you know that very well as the part of the solution from back in the day, where as long as you win the ones that matter, PAYNE's been doing that right now. Relintendo's is winning everything. Yep. I'll just say that one too. Relintendo beat Red, non-title, 30-29. That was a nail-biter for 4 hours. It came down to a point, which is, again, the bonuses are worth 2. So one either way would have been a winner victory, like a winner defeat for that. So go to Relintendo. I picked Red because I believe in her, but I cannot bet against Relintendo at this point. And just for the record, I think he's probably going to retain over Nerd. Because he's just doing what he's doing, but we'll get there. But how do you feel about beating the American champion? Because you you couldn't beat the Canadian one.
It's true. I couldn't do it. But, maybe America will be a little bit easier. I don't know.
Ooh, that's weird coming from American. Anyway, next up. Actually, what do you feel with Relintendo winning over Red? It's like so close too. Like good scores too.
He's winning these. He's winning these pretty closely. But hey, a win's a win.
A win's a win,
and that's all that matters.
Yep. I always picture the close wins where it's so competitive as well, and that's
exactly
like squashes are good, but I like to see it where like you fought tooth and nail, but you were still better, and those are the wins. I like that kind of stuff. That's very Bret Hart style.
Those
right?
are the most nerve-wracking too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So those are my kind of matches. Speaking of big craziness. La Familia, Sebastian Escobar, Dedrick Cyrus, and the Alpha Dog win over Cure 1, Ash, and Jason Blades. So Dedrick goes 2-0 on the weekend. Alpha Dog splits it. Escobar didn't do Impact, did he? I realize now. I think he skipped some.
He's 1-0.
Yeah, he does what he needs to. But that's a great weekend for those guys. Cure 1, Ash, and Jason Blades on the losing end of things. Sorry, guys, that's what happens. But La Familia keeps doing what I've been saying and keeps winning. This is dangerous. They are absolutely running roughshod over everybody and anybody. So They kind of came out of nowhere, too, which, again, I like that. It's like these guys saw something, saw a gap in the wall, and blew through it, which
Yep.
can't fault that. That's awesome. I love to see that. Next up, me. I beat JD. I beat Josh Dionio. I think that's my third win over him. But whenever it matters, I don't get to. So,
That's true.
yeah.
Hey, but this is a big win. It's a big
It
rebound
was.
win for you.
It's a main show win. It's 32. It was really good. If I'm correct, he got burned by the Usos. Like, I think that was his 6-pointer or something. It was massive. It was a big one. And it wrecked his night. It was over at that point. But it's still fun. But, yeah. Let's see. Chappers. RGX, he had a rough weekend. He went 0 for 2. But he lost to Chappers by 5 points, which is not bad. But he still didn't get the win.
Right.
But look at this next one. Look at this next one. The Gaffer goes 2-0 on the weekend. 26-20 against Jut Jut.
The returning Jut.
Jut Jut came back. Full disclosure, been looking to get him back for a while, trying to coordinate things. We got him back, and he lost. Yep. But Gaffer looked great in that. He looked awesome. Sky's the limit. I think he's, 7-0 now? Like, he's undefeated. This is the biggest, I believe, winning streak we have and have had. If I'm being brutally honest, I truly forget. He might have lost his debut now I think about it. I forget. But we do have rosters, which GMSG works his ass off on with the records, the wins and losses, everything in there. He does that himself. Go check those out from our Discord. Like the stuff in there. Let him know it's awesome. He's got the profiles in there. Because the write-ups are by Red, CT, and myself. Red, again, wasn't able to for this one. Beerman and I do the show. We all do the booking, except for Beerman. And then GMSG does all that work. CT makes the pages. We all do a bit of everything. So throw love at these guys for this stuff. And especially for him for doing that. Because he's got goddamn, I think 100 different matches to go through and put stats in because of this. Because I think last weekend still counts towards it. So, yeah. But you'll be able to know if Gaffer's undefeated is my point on that. But here's one that I know we were looking forward to. Huge. Bear me, huge. PAYNE beat JJ Rocky 37-27. That is a main show win. That is a huge momentum needing win to go to SummerSlam if there ever was one, isn't it?
It really is. And now JJ's got to go to SummerSlam and face Jace. I mean, I know they got the stipulation in their back pocket, but JJ's kind of been on a little bit of a slide. Our boy, they're massacring our boy.
Yeah, yeah. I'll JJ will bounce around. He'll bounce back. He's kind of been been inconsistent right now. It's not all bad, but PAYNE needed that win. That was. He needed that because he's been losing a lot of ones that didn't matter. Like, he's got a losing record overall, speaking of profiles. It's not good. So he needed that win. And I think it puts him on good footing against JJ to go there and go one-on-one with Bastion. We'll talk about that match again in full detail later on. We'll come back to that. Modstep, though, beat Tino 36-30. The tag champs did great this weekend. I'll say it again. I think they both went 2-0 in singles. So, great job by those guys. Insane. And then DMI, Death Money Inc., the legit team, Arbiter and Kano Mac, the Arbiter, excuse me, beat OVS, Casey Warden and Roman Pierce, 58-55. That, on a main show, remember when I was saying that, these guys get a good main show win, they're probably back in contention?
Yeah.
That's looking pretty good. Win's a win. I don't care how much it is for some of these. I mean, OVS is still kind of in the discussion too, but not before DMI, so that's very good for those guys. We'll see where that turns very quickly, I believe, because we got a tag team title match at SummerSlam. We're going to need some contenders, so DMI might be happy with that one. I know they were calling for it to be a triple threat for the contendership tonight, but all in due time. We'll see where things go from there. I think everything will sort itself out, and if they earn it, they earn it. If not, well, keep winning, you'll get another shot. Just like OVS. OVS has been close, but not quite there. Bear me, I know you like this one. Mystery Mask, one of your favorite Avatar pictures, defeated Wookiee 32-26. Another mask. match.
He keeps doing work. He keeps winning.
He does. He's doing really good. And again, he's consistent. He's got more wins than losses at this point with these kind of matches, so it's lower, but this keeps bringing him up. Wookiee's a good win for a main show card, so very, very good. Down here, we've got Bane the Bissa defeating the Midnight Rider, 36-24. We've got Chef Urban beating Rate Wrestle, 33-26. Ace High getting the win, over Supreme Rock, 29-21. These are all guys that are like trying to climb through. Bane goes 2-0 on the weekend, I believe it is. Lee drops one. Urban's been probably the most back and forth that at least stands out to me. But he's been doing very well, and like he keeps turning it around and doesn't let any losses really drag him. So he's got a win against Rate Wrestle. That's very, very good, and it was a solid win too. And Ace High rebounding as well with that win over Supreme Rock, which is another good one for them. So a lot of battles with factions with these guys. Also very interesting to see. And yes, here we go, Beer Me. Danny the Light Jordan defeated Monkey Bong, 31-26.
Undefeated.
How do you top that? What do you do with that match? Like, it's the Light. I said Jordan again. Excuse me, Jordison. Right. Forgive me. Versus Monkey Bong, and it's spelled right. Monke. That's Monkey Bong.
I want Danny the Light versus the Gaffer. I need that.
I mean, it's a matter of time. It's got to happen, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Or against Mystery Mask. What are those two? You see it?
Yeah, I can see some of those.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, Junction got the win over Macho Mendoza, 31-16. 31, same as Danny, which is one of the better scores. I say that as I see some 32s and 36s, but some 20s. Yeah, it would have beaten a bunch of people, so very, very good for that. 3J Platinum beat Papa Snooch, 27-21. Cena is back when Cena came back. Mad Elite Titan won a 4-way, defeating Wesley Shadow, Skylar Cross, and Lynn. And Mark Harper beat Buck N5, 29-24. So Harper was another win as well. And then the write-up. Yes, there is the full write-up. Once again, we do all this work. We put it all in here regarding things like the tag title contendership, the mystery stuff with Junction. Not Junction, excuse me. I scrolled through and saw Junction right away. With Jut Jut. I got them mixed up all the time before, too, those two names. But we've got stuff like the main event of the pre-show with JJ and PAYNE, and then the entirety of the card, myself and JD, Familia, and the opposition, and the aftermath, where Kier 1 had some issues and made a challenge for the Legend at SummerSlam, and we'll see what happens there. Ralentendo and Red went a little crazy, and Red got a little bit too much blood. She wasn't thrilled about that. Something happened there, so gonna have to talk to her and see what's going on, because that's not like her. Too much blood? That doesn't make any sense. So something's up there. Bearme, you and McKennedy had a bit of a war. It's always interesting to have someone where you want to keep both parties strong. That's a very important thing with the write-ups that I know we all kind of take for granted. Or take to heart anyway, because we don't want him to get buried, because he's the champ. He's defending. He's looking good. But even if he wasn't, you got to look good too. Everybody's got to look good, unless you get squashed. Then you get squashed. But nothing like that happened here. The Canadian Championship Contenders match, Nerd going kind of crazy with some One-Winged Angels, and Ralentendo staring him down. Very fun stuff there. I look forward to that match. Not Beer Me. You're Beer Me. Broken Nerd. See, again, the names. I do this a lot. Pointing at the title, so fun to see what happens there. And remember, Broken Nerd was king of the cinematic matches, but Watson Rules is anything but. So we've never seen him in that kind of situation. Actually, he lost to a submission match to me in the dungeon submission in an embassy. So even more so, I think Ralentendo is going to win, because this is not the Nerd's strength. So, but we'll see if he's adapted in the years since. The tag team contendership match is in here, and then the Money in the Bank, which I'll freely say I'm very proud of that write-up. It's super fun and crazy, and it's long, as you can see. But yeah, then there's the World Championship qualifier. CT wrote this one. He killed it. It's awesome. It's just insane. And yeah, we're going to SummerSlam. And I'll just go over here and show that graphic. And yeah, there it is. We'll talk more about this in the coming weeks. But PAYNE versus Bastion is our main event for SummerSlam. It is for the World Championship. We finally will round out our 4 champions. Bear me, it's been so long. Ralantando and Alexander McKennedy, who both were declared champions at WrestleMania, have reigns of over 100 days at this point. And we still don't have a world title holder. It's kind of fun, kind of weird. But we wanted to make sure these guys earned it. These guys went all the way. And yeah, the more I look at it, it's kind of a whatever font, but it's our font on there, the Frontline font, and I designed that belt. Yeah, shut up. I'm very proud of this. CT did the graphics there. Looking forward to seeing what we do with this one. It should be a lot of fun, and we'll break that down next time. But I think, bear me, we're at the 50-minute mark. We covered 2 shows. I think we're just going to call it there and then jump into this stuff next week. What do you think about that?
All right. Wait, I got something to announce.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah. I got to, okay. So, at SummerSlam, as everybody knows, I will be facing James Costner, the FBU hunter, the guy who's been a thorn in everybody's side.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have beaten you in a submission match this weekend. I'm getting my strength back, or I'm getting my feet back under me. I'm doing pretty well. I'm going to challenge him to a submission match to be the stipulation at SummerSlam. And I will wait to see if he accepts or not. So, Costner, this is to you. Submission match, SummerSlam. Are we on?
Okay, so Bear, you want to submit? You want to go 2 submission matches in a row in 2 months?
Yes.
You had McKennedy in between, but you want to do 2 submission matches in 2 months, and this one at SummerSlam against James Costner, who I said was the most dangerous participant in Money in the Bank.
Yes, I do.
And you want him in a submission match.
100%.
I'm not even going to comment on that. We got to see what Costner says about that. If you want to know what he says, there's going to be a few ways we'll find out. He'll either respond directly in character chat. He'll let us know, and we'll announce it. I'll probably announce it because Bearman won't know this. But I'll announce it probably here on Trenches. It's probably how that'll work. But if anything, I'm sure Costner will be reaching out. I've got a feeling that he's not going to say no, but
right.
Yeah, no, he'll probably agree to that. But I guess the ball's in his court. Well, Bearman, any other earth-shaking announcements you want to make here?
That's all I got.
That's all you got? All right. Well, we'll leave it at that. Thanks again, everybody, for checking us out here on FPL in the Trenches. This is Frontline League. Check out all our stuff in the video, like, favorite, subscribe, all that whatever stuff. But also check us out on Frontline League on Twitter. And, yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. And I guess, Vitamin, what do you say? Let us know, and we'll find out. Thanks again.